Welcome to the 2019 Future Retrospective. This is a segment that I'll be doing from now on at the end of every year, where I look back on my achievements during that year, as well as consider the things I have planned for the next year, so that you can get an idea for what I managed to accomplish in a given year, and what I plan to accomplish in an upcoming year. So, let's get on with it. What did I do in 2019? Well, the Entropy Slaves wiki broke 100 pages recently. I think that happened in either October or September, sometime around the later stages of the year, because I didn't do anything during the summer, I know that much. That's a pretty big accomplishment for me. Currently it's at 110 pages, and given the rate at which I'm creating more pages, it'll probably reach 200 sometime during next year. Provided, of course, that I have sufficient time to work on it, which might not be the case given my other projects. Building off of that, Entropy Slaves as a whole has been revised considerably. Not only have I been making new pages on the wiki, I've been going back and revising several of the pages that already exist, and it's in a much better state now. It's much more cleaned up. I don't have the ability to check back through everything for factual inconsistencies or problems or stuff like that, which is why I created the issue board on the main page. And I highly encourage that you use that issue board or contact me directly to inform me of issues, because I want to fix those as soon as possible before moving on to other things and getting sidetracked, because then it's just out of the way. In terms of new things that I've started, I did finish my board game that I was designing sometime back in November. It's called MAGINOT. I created an online wiki for the game's universe. It has a comprehensive universe attached to it because, of course, it does everything I make does. That wiki is in kind of a sorry state right now, and I don't think it's going to be worked on nearly as much as the Entropy Slaves wiki, beyond the gameplay information that people would want to look up for strategies and stuff like that. For the time being, it's complete, but that doesn't mean that there aren't any issues with it. So again, if you see any issues, you should let me know, because at some point I'll probably release a new version of the game that will have many of those issues fixed. I think that's really all that I've accomplished in 2019. Not kind of a slow year for me. There was a lot of stuff IRL that got in the way of things that I want to avoid having that happen in the future. But I think it also was partially my fault, because I didn't have a lot of projects that I was really enthusiastic about, and so I was hesitant to do anything. But now I actually do have quite a few projects, and that's where I'm going to lead into my plans for 2020. In order of most urgent to least urgent, the very first thing on my agenda is to give my channel a makeover. I've noticed that there are some connotations associated with my usage of Mac Tonight as my channel icon, and while I've always seen the character as symbolic of the vaporwave genre, the internet tends to assume otherwise. I think that's attracting some attention that I don't necessarily want on my channel, so I'm going to change it to something less egregious for the time being, at least until I can figure out something better. After that happens, I have plans to make an album review for the Gunship album Dark All Day. That'll probably be out before the end of the month, I'm not entirely sure. After the album review is done, I will lay low for a while and work on some other things, and eventually I will look to publish my very first actual written work that I've put out there for people to buy. It's going to be a short story anthology of 5 short stories that I've written, and you'll be able to buy it somewhere. That's going to be one of my more long-term goals. Alongside that is another long-term goal, which is I actually have had this Minecraft adventure map in the works for a while, and that's something that I'm very passionate about. Right now I'd say it's about 40% complete, and given the rate at which I'm finishing it, it probably will be finished sometime around the middle of the year. I'm not entirely sure. Again, I don't really plan for these things, but that will be out eventually, and that will be really fun, and hopefully that'll draw more people to my channel and my work and other things, just because, everybody likes Minecraft. So those are the 4 things that I'm looking to accomplish: channel makeover, album review, and long-term goals, book publishing, and the Minecraft adventure map. And all of those things you will get more information on when they are ready.